The best isn't the smartest or even the strongest. The best is the fiercest. The biggest do or die in the entire camp. Tough, indestructible, and fucking ruthless.
Hey guys, Migs on US 007 Animal Style. We've had a few people log on the server lately and ask us to make a video for beginners. A lot of our videos are obviously geared toward higher end items and more end game material like Sector B, making monuments, doing stronghold upgrades, things of that nature. So for a beginner or someone that's new to Origins, obviously that stuff is not anywhere near on the horizon. So what today's video is it is geared toward those new players that have asked us to kind of, where do you start, right? What is it the best way to get started in Origins to work your way up to that? And primarily, how do you do it as a lone wolf player? Get a lot of questions around that. I primarily am a lone wolf player. Again, a lot of my clan doesn't log on until there's a PvP issue that we need to address, or again to lay down any potential buildings like a stronghold, for instance, if you need to get a big group of people on. But primarily, I'm a lone wolf player myself. So when people were asking for that, I thought this is a perfect opportunity to kind of give you guys some tips. So diving right into it, we're just going to start at the very beginning, which is again where to spawn and why. What are our options and where to spawn? So if we look at the map, the 5 starting options are Kameni. Also, if we go down, the next one is Ethenbosk here. And the next one is Bylov, which is over here. And then we have Mitrovice, which is over here. And then the final option, which is 7, which is down here. Now, there's really no wrong answer, guys. Again, play the game however you see fit. Again, spawn wherever you feel you're most comfortable. But this is going to be primarily toward what I feel is the best thing to do when you just start to get in the game. And the one that we're going to choose on this is Kameni. So if we look up, now why are we going to choose Kameni? And this is what we're really trying to accomplish. In Origins, it's a little bit different than the other mods. I feel strongly the first thing you really need to do is you need to get your house up as quickly as possible. You can try to get high-end weapons, you can try to repair vehicles to move around faster, you can try to get into a position to PvP immediately if you're looking to go bandit, and all that stuff's fantastic. But really, if you make one wrong move, you get a blood infection, you catch a zombie virus, you do get sniped out, you do get jumped by a group of people. Everything that you've tried to do to gather up to get to that point to do those things is pretty much gone forever, and you're starting back at square one. The game can be very frustrating and very long, and again, Origins is a grind anyway. So really what you want to do to make the most effective use of your time is really focus on just getting your level 1 house up. It's very easy, it's very simple, and we can do it very quickly. Now when we spawn in Kameni, the first thing we want to do is we want to make our way over to the industrial area here. Now what we really want to do is just get 2 reinforced and 2 cement. That's going to allow us to lay down our foundation for our level 1 house, in addition to some rock and wood. Again, you'll gather wood by chopping the trees, and you'll gather rock from the quarries. Now the quarry is a bit of a run from here. The quarry is obviously down by Bylov, which is a nice little spawn right down here. Now that is going to be a bit of a run for you, but again, what you really want to do is get this industrial really quickly and get in a position to make your house. So ultimately what we want to do here when choosing a base, guys, is we really want to get on the flattest and most open ground as possible. And again, this is just my personal preference and my opinion. The flat ground is really important, especially when you're getting garages or level 3 or level 4 houses and you're trying to put vehicles inside. They do derp, they will blow up, they will damage, and sometimes, depending on how bad the slope is, it almost makes it impossible for you to even have a vehicle in the structure, which really defeats the purpose of having the structure. So ultimately what we want to do is get something flat, and we want to get something open. I'm going to show you a couple examples of what I'm talking about. Ultimately, coastline is what we'd like to do. It's really flat, really open, and as an example, we're going to head down here, and we'll pick it up from there. Okay guys, so here we are down on the coastline down here. It looks like we actually have a potential downed heli over there, which is great. But this is kind of what we're talking about. And now I see a lot of players make a big mistake when making their house. They want to try to conceal it, right? They want to put it in forest like over there, and they want to put it in trees and think that people aren't going to find their base. A reality of Origins, guys, is people are going to find your base. It's inevitable. Whether they're on foot or they're flying overhead and actually doing base searching, or they follow you from somewhere to your base, ultimately your base is going to be found. Now when that happens, you need to make sure that you're in a position to limit your exposure, and being in a forest or being in a place that has a lot of trees or a lot of rocks that people can hide behind and kill you is really a big mistake. Ultimately you're going to end up getting housed, and you're going to be in real trouble. So what you want to do, again, coastline is very convenient simply because if we were to make a base here and we were to make a house and we had our front door facing out toward the water, that is one place that we do not need to worry about ever getting sniped from. As you know, when you're in water, you're swimming. You're not able to shoot. If there was a boat out there with a gun on it, well, we would most certainly see that boat, and then we would know better than to try to open our house at that moment. So if you put a house right here on, for instance, this land, from the front, you're pretty safe. From the sides, again, we have a bit of an issue, but again, quite a ways. Now the back, that's a real problem, right? We have trees, we have rocks, we have people we can hide over. But again, if we're crouched down or even prone when opening our doors, we're not going to be able to get sniped out depending on the position. So always make sure when you're placing your house that you consider where the door is. You do not want it facing trees. You do not want it facing obstacles that people can hide behind. It's just a really big mistake. So coastline and flat ground is really what you want to focus on. Alternatively, if you don't prefer coast, that's fine. Another good location, and actually very popular location, is over here in like wide open fields near Ethenvosk, for say. This is another nice spot. It's pretty wide open. So now that we've found a place, as an example, where we want to create our base, again, getting everything set up is pretty easy, guys. Again, you just need the cement mixer, a couple reinforced cement. You make your way over to get some wood, and you make your way over to get some rocks, and then you just lay down the foundation. And then after the server reset, you'll finish up, and you'll need again 4 more reinforced, 4 more cement. And again, ultimately, where you want to get that from is probably going to be somewhere near Ekaterinburg or any of the industrial areas. Again, if you power loot industrial, you're going to get those items really, really quickly. Now, after we have a house up and we've got our base location, we have a house up, and we're ready to start experiencing some of the game, I recommend we head over here to Martin Barracks. Now, the Martin Barracks, that actually has some really, really good high-end weaponry. Now, ultimately, what we want to get there is 2 things. One is we really want to get a weapon to defend ourselves with. The second thing we really want to focus on is getting a silent weapon. The silent weapon is the most valuable thing you can really get in Origins. It allows you to kill silently, so players don't see you, or hear you. And again, it prevents zombies, you just being overrun with endless zombies and having to waste a bunch of ammo and having to worry about farming more ammo to be able to defend yourself. So ultimately, Martin Barracks is where you want to head over to. And again, guys, that basically covers the basics. If you have any questions, again, comments, please leave them below. Or just hop on the server. Again, we're always happy to help out the community and give tips on how to do this thing. Hope you find this valuable, and as always, guys, be safe.
We have multiple personnel with small arms. Understand we are on restricted ROEs. Over. Charlie 9 or 2, this is Red 5. That is A firm. Keep a hard posture. Only prosecute targets that are immediate threat. Over.